Let's talk about some of the basic themes. Here you have plan, act, and track, and mostly your basic info planning happens here. These are then when you already have stuff live and you're working on it, and then here we have some reporting. To start off with, you should always create some of this basic marketing context. So I'm going to switch to the new account we just created and set up business information. Let's fill in the language and then just click on generate business context. Then you wait. This usually takes about 30 seconds. And that is done. So it tries to automatically detect your basic business information. You can go ahead and save it, but of course you can change any of these. If there's anything here that you want to modify, you can do so. Then there's some brand assets that you can also modify. Then customers, let's say marketing managers at 25 to 100 people organizations spending more than done. And obviously you can also modify these as much as you'd like. Then let's create some product value arguments. So let's start with this. Let's say that is the landing page. This is Finnish and Finland there. And that is done. Let's go ahead and save that. Also, if you untoggle the summarize, you can see all the details and modify these as much as you'd like. Then let's add a competitor and generate. Good, and that's all done. And obviously you can add multiple customer profiles, multiple products. Then you can also add a brand guide. Note this needs to be linked to a product so that we know when to use it. You can add disallowed words and approve claims, disapprove claims. That's your basic setup. Then you also want to go to manage account and link this to a Google Ads account. So I'm going to log in here, go through the 2FA, and then you can link your Google Search Console account and your Google Ads account. The automated onboarding will guide you through all of this basic stuff. So maybe that's an easier way to go. But now let's take that account and see if we even have a Search Console account that we can use. Yeah, there. And now the basic setup has been completed and we are ready to get started. And a logical place to start is the keywords, because this is kind of what all of this is based on. And let's say we want to advertise Google Ads. So I'm going to create a list for that. Okay, so I created a keyword list, and these AI agents are the main way. So I'm currently running this commercial research flow. You can see it running there, and it is now ready. And here are the keywords that it found. I'm pretty happy with all of these. I probably could have expanded on some of these, but they're all kind of relevant to what we're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to go ahead and add these to my keyword list. And now I have 100 keywords, which is, I think, a good start. The next thing I'm going to do is suggest themes. So group these into themes. I don't think there's going to be too many here, but that gives us an overall strategic structure of our marketing efforts. So I'm going to go ahead and create theme suggestions. Now this usually takes 5 to 10 minutes, 100 to a couple of hundred keywords is a good starting point. And now what the growth themes are, they are the themes in which you want to grow your visibility and reach customers both in Google Ads and SEO, and they will be the foundation of optimizing your existing campaigns as well as creating new campaigns and creating action items for SEO. And once they finish, I'm going to show you what you can do with them. And if you're not completely happy with the initial list you get, you can always either remove individual keywords if they're not relevant, or you can kick off other jobs like core product keywords, for instance, or integrations for SaaS, or just a generic free-form research. And once those jobs complete, they will all appear here, and then you can select and do a bit of filtering here using these filters and add keyword. But typically, if you run one or two of these jobs, you should be in a good position to create your first growth themes for whatever you're working on. Okay, so that run took about 5 minutes. We have 2 new themes, which is about what I would expect based on this being just Google Ads. There's Google Ad Management, which looks pretty relevant with like 5-6 subclusters for people seek information about Google Ads. And then this is a marketing agency selection, which is exactly what I want. Marketing managers who are looking for information about Google Ads. I think I'm just going to make that bottom of the funnel because this is already like pretty close. I'm going to save that theme and I'm going to save that theme. So now I have my first growth themes. I can navigate to growth themes. I'm going to start working on both of these immediately. And the first thing here, first of all, you should enable rank tracking. So let's just go ahead and enable that. And here you can see what keywords are included, our current organic visibility and our paid visibility. It looks like in this case, we don't really have any paid visibility with these. You can also drill down to like the individual themes. So for instance, for agency review and reputation. So now what's going to happen in the background is it's going to start creating action items to start improving the situation for SEO. For SEM, if there are actions to like tag existing campaigns, they would show up here, but I don't think we had any. So next you can click on check coverage. And here, since we know that we don't have campaigns for these, I'm going to tell it to create new campaigns. So you can select growth themes only. Like if you only want to do one, let's maybe do that. So let's say the marketing agency selection. And if you do the automated route, it's going to try to find existing campaigns. That would be a good home for some of the clusters here underneath here. So maybe you already have a campaign that could take one of these clusters. Well, then we create a new ad group there, or maybe you have an existing ad group and that already is relevant, has a good landing page. Well, then maybe we just add the keywords there. Or if there's nothing suitable for this growth theme, then it'll typically suggest just creating a new campaign for that growth theme. Now, those actions, once that finishes running, you will then see like the action items here to create those new campaigns. And I'm going to show you how that works in just a second. This typically takes 5-10 minutes because it is creating a lot of ads, ad groups, analyzing structures and so on, automatically generating all the campaign settings. So this is a good time to get a cup of tea or something while you wait for this to finish. Okay, as that job now completed, that means that there's probably action items to create new campaigns. And now that is because here we said that create new campaigns only. But if you already have a lot of existing campaigns, then really running the automatic is the way to go, because then it'll just make sure that all of the growth themes that you currently have are covered, but it's not necessarily going to create new campaigns. It'll create new ad groups in existing campaigns or even add keywords to existing ad groups. But we went with the new campaign route because we knew based on the classify job that these are not going to have good pre-existing campaigns. Here we have a campaign action item. So it's telling us to create a new campaign. And here it's already pre-selected a lot of these things for us. There's probably conversion value on the account. So it's suggesting that we optimize for that. Daily budget based on existing spend on the account. And then location is good. I think languages we want to add English. And then we can go ahead and execute and it'll create that campaign. And then we can start creating the ad groups. This is all pre-selected. So, okay, this looks good. Let's create that ad group. These are the keywords it's suggesting that we add. We can, of course, here still kind of modify, change matches, change keywords, but this all looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and execute. And it has written an ad for us. Okay, yeah, this all looks nice. Yeah, I can modify, but I can just go ahead and execute as well. And then, just run down through the entire list until this is completed. The campaign is currently paused in Google Ads, so you need to go there and enable it, just have a final check there. Now that's one way of getting new themes live on ClickBuddy. The one thing that this doesn't currently automatically do is demand gen. So we also have the ability under the Act section to just manually create campaigns. So let's say we want to create a demand gen campaign to support the growth theme that we were just working on. So I'm going to select the growth theme, and with that, a lot of these are actually already pre-filled. We're going to want to reach, we're going to want to focus on conversions. I guess we want to spend like, let's say 1,000 a month about. It depends on what you're aiming for, what kind of a setup you have. You can also leave this blank. And then you save and continue. And next step, you can just automatically generate campaign settings using AI. This usually takes about 30 seconds as well. You can also manually do this work, but this will just analyze the campaign, analyze your goals, analyze your historical spend, conversions, conversion value, all that sort of thing, and kind of come up with an optimal package for you in usually about 30 seconds. It's suggesting a daily budget of 33, which is in line with what our goal was. I don't think we're going to want to add Dutch. Let's add English instead. Presence is good. This sounds all right. Fine, let's go. If selected something you could target, a couple of ad groups, some retargeting, this all looks fine. Then next you can set the demographic settings. These look completely fine. This is just an optional linking if you want to link them like further down to individual clusters. Performance growth leaders, I think I'm going to pop that there. Retargeting doesn't really have one, but this is optional just to give us a bit more information. Then you can go to create ads, and here you can create ads for all of these in one go. So then you can use your existing assets from library as per usual, or you can upload from your computer, or you can generate with AI if you wish. But this is fine. Then ad copy, it's given us some suggestions. If we don't like the automated suggestions, we can reiterate. So please more flair. But if we do, then we can just use those directly. Now I'm going to reiterate. It usually takes 15, 20 seconds. That's great. And before you reiterate, you can also give it feedback and say, this is bad, bad, good, good. But I'm not going to do that now. We're just going to use what we have here and then basically create ads. And now you have ads for all four. Then you review and you click on create campaign, and this all goes live on Google Ads. It again paused, so you need to go there and just make sure everything's fine and then publish. But that's how you create a campaign. I'm not going to create that now because I don't want to add weird stuff to the account, but you can always save it as a draft and come back to it later. Now, that is how you can get started. You can also create search campaigns completely manually, just based off a keyword list. If you don't want to do the growth theme thing, you go to keywords and you have a keyword list. You can cluster these like quickly per topic, and then you can say, okay, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one, and you save these as cluster set. And then you can go to new campaign, search, and go manual mode. And then here you just select the cluster set that I just created. And let's say this is convert. We want conversions, 3,150. What are we marketing so that it knows how to write the ads? And yet again, you can generate with AI, or you can tick these manually. Dark patterns are automatically off. You can turn them on if you wish, but I'm not going to. And then as you can see, let's go with maximize conversions without a target CPA. Now all of those clusters are now ad groups, and here you can create ads for them. All of this content is already pre-filled. Anything you have in your tone guide will be here. Generate some ad copy. It's already actually selected a good landing page there as well. That's neat. So generating some ad copy there. And same thing as for demand gen, you can thumbs up or thumbs down and then regenerate, or you can select existing. And just like that, you have ads for all of these. You go to review and you publish, or you save as draft. So that's how you get started and launch new stuff.